All right, 50. Page 50. Bnsf Freight, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway. Train dispatcher operators, control operators manual. Train dispatcher operators manual, November 1st, 2001. November 1st, 2001. 4-5 track time. Recording a non-computerized track time. When issuing non-computerized track time, record information on the form provided. When using computerized track time, say an automatic record is generated, but the paper form is not required. 4511. 4511. Extended time limit. To extend time limits on the track time form, use a red pencil to draw a line through until the time. When a new time is a time extended column, and if the time is extended by someone other than the issuing control operator or the initials of the control operator with the issues with the next time next to the extended time. When the extending track of the time is using the following words: name of the equipment, authority number, and number is used until the time. 4512 boundary limits. Do not change the boundaries authorized to issue the new track time. 45.2 issuing track and time. Request the track and time. Requiring the individual requesting track and time stating the following: name, occupation, exact location, train, other identification, instruction, employee, requesting track and time to be called back at a given time if the time cannot be granted for the immediate use. Protection movement. Confirm blocking before transmitting the track and time. Performing the blocking, the markers have been applied on the control machine to prevent movement and authorized limits while the track is in the time and effective. On the track segments, when another control operator provides any part of the blocking, get the confirmation with the control operator that has applied the blocking before transmitting the track time. Shunning signal circuits. Before granting track and time employees for protecting and a control point to determine if the work will be shunning in the signal circuits. If they will not shun the signal circuits, it's not only necessary to back off the control point operation inspection operation services or OS section. If the work will be shut in the signal with the signal circuit, apply the blocking mark device to the adjacent track segment in both directions. All no movements in the adjacent track segments unless under the track and time advance. Advice will be before and in the effective control is given with the given permission to get operating dual control switches applied with applying block marking devices and all segments effective in both directions. 4523 control point. When authorizing limits using control points, when switches use the designated point, the switch is not indicated with the limits of switch number. For example, between the WSS Walker and AESS bill, between west side switch Walker switch number, east siding switch bill switch number. The signal is used to designate the switches included with the switch or yes switch yes. For example, the WBCS Jane and the EB ZS Mitchell between Western Collective Controlled Signal Jane Switch Yes, East Controlled Signal Mitchell Switch Yes. 4524, the grant track and timing. When the grant and track and timing is using the following words: name of the equipment, the authority, the name, authority number, the grant on the track, between the point and switch and yes or no, and point and switch or yes or no until time. When the employee has repeated the above correctly, respond the following: name, number is okay, time is okay, the control operator's initials. 4525, lost communication. When an employee requires the track of the time after issuing the authority, the communication of the loss before the employee repeats the authority incomplete with the message received during the repeat. The control operator must consider the authority is in effect with the unit until communication is restored. But the control operator must complete the track of the time, and the blocking must be maintained on the control machine. With the communication reestablished between the control operator with the field employee with the track of the time must be repeated and released. When the field employee repeats the track of the time, the control operator must access the track and the time record unless and use for the information to verify the report repeat is correct. 4526, contingent authorities. Do not use issue track time and authority contingent upon a condition. Issue only after the train movements authorized for the physical by location where the track will be entered. If the authority is in the maintenance of workforces containing overlapping authority with the train, using behind the train to instruct the employee that the authority is granted behind the train movement. If the track time authority cannot be granted with the immediate use, instruct employees to call back at the given time. The CC 45 CTC outage and issue the track time. If the CTC outage occurs, the train are in and authorized use throughout the effective territory do not issue any of the track time until the limits can be protected. Before granting track time, consider the control machine display with the effective control point signal indications the field may not correspond. If possible, utilize the CTC control equipment to issue the track and time in the normal manner. If unusable, to issue the track and the time in the normal manner, do the following: ensure that no train movements are within the authorized through the affected territories unless granted to join the track time. Use the quick block or the track block feature with the adjacents with a CPS to protect assets. Issue the track and time is issuing using form provided. Number consecutively begin with the authority number 1 on each district. When all authorities are released from the form, be fulfilled at each end of the calendar day. If the train movements are authorized through the effective territory and it is necessary to issue the tracks at the time of the maintenance worker or employee, contact the effective train, inform the crew of the situation, advise each of the train, immediately reduce the restricted speeds conforming when they have complied, place the blocking devices, use issuing the joint track at the time to each of the effective trains. After issuing the joint track and time to each of the train, place the blocking devices, issue the joint track at the time to the maintenance work employee. 45.3 Joint track and time. Same or overlapping limits not computerized track and time. If more than one track at the time authority is issued, but at the same time, overlapping limits all track time and authorities, and those limits must be joint, but it applies regardless for whether the track of the time is in the trains of the maintenance work or any combination of the trains or trains with maintenance work or the maintenance work or the maintenance way machines. Notification of joint status. First authority holder when issuing the track of the time authority in the limits with there no track time authority currently exists, but in which is all other authorities are anticipated in the same overlapping limits, make the first authority joint. Do so, and by issuing the following manner: name of the equipment authority number granted on the track between points and as some switch yes and switch point yes or no joint until time. The track of the time authority already exists, and the sole authority of the authorities needed to be issued the same overlapping limits. Contact the holder of the first authority to modify the sole authority to the joint status issuing by following: name of the equipment authority number and is now joint. Additional authority holders in the same or overlapping limits when issuing the track of the authorities in the same overlapping limits with the joint authority already devised of the new authority holder and each party that already occupying the limits do so, including the new track of the time authority with the name of the equipment ID with each of the party already occupying the limits as follows: name and equipment authority number the granted on the track of the point switch yes or no, and the point switcher yes or no. Joint party 1, 2, 3, and until time. 45.4 Reporting clear. When an employee or train reports clear of the track at the time, state the following: name of the equipment authority number and is released between point and switch yes and point switch yes or no at time. Release track and the time to move and signal indication. When a track is released to move the specific direction governed by the signal indications as outlined with the General Code of Rule 10.3 track and time, issue the following instructions: engine authority number is released from the movement direction between point switch yes or no and point switch yes or no at time. Switch line and locked. If the switch within the track of the time does not indicate it to be lined or locked for the route, instruct the train for the employee to operate the affected switch by hand or for a route. 45.7 Automatic interlock of the General Code of the Rules. Rules 10.3 states the track of the time does not authorize the trains to occupy the track within the automatic interlocking system, the maintenance work, or Rules 10.3 states the track of time does not authorize the maintenance of the way employees and on-track equipment to occupy the main track without an automatic interlocking limits. When the track car operator requests protection with the automatic interlocking limits of the CTC territory states the following: be governed by the instructions of the maintenance way. Release box call letters. When we're recording the track time, office call letters may be used and shown in the timetable or train movement record. 46 Ruler 914 track permits instruction for the train dispatcher.